That Bill says it all, Michelle. Delighted with John Mixon. Meanwhile, Stafford after throwing his first incomplete pass.
Super Bowl.
In a little space, and Odell Beckham on these crossing routes can just be so deadly. You see the coverage trying to chase him across the field, got knocked off.
Morning guys, I just thought I would do a bit of an update. Like, I've changed on my own what supplements and stuff I'm taking because we didn't have great results last retrieval, and we're getting ready to do another retrieval before doing transfer. I've decided for the month in between to kind of go back on a bunch of supplements. My isotal is one of those drugs that my last doctor told me to take and just needed to take the month before. So I'm also back to so many drugs. So this Super C that I've got, it's just vitamin C, but with zinc. It also has vitamin A in it. And it was one of those when I got tested post stomach surgery at my 6-month check-in, that was the one thing they said was a little low. Now vitamin A is one of those supplements or vitamins that you don't really want to be taking while in the middle of IVF or that sort of stuff, or just trying to get pregnant, but it is something that they suggested I try and bump up before I start any drugs for IVF. So for the month, I'm making sure I'm taking that and trying to get a bit extra vitamin A. So that's that one. I've got my prenatal, which is I've got just one. It's just a once a day one, and it was still the same like dosages as twice a day pill, and like the amount of pills I'm taking. If I can cut back, I'm not having to take 2 and just take 1. Prefer that. I'm back to the CoQ10 300s, which are hard to find here, but luckily I found some. I am doing calcium, magnesium, and D3 as a supplement together. And again, that's just kind of to help, not necessarily with the pregnancy stuff specifically, but more to do with being post-gastric sleeve. And I just thought, again, making sure, and I've been taking that one for a little while, but just been making sure I'm taking it. So I've got those. And then I have 8 of the myo-isotal a day, which is pretty much 2 serves of the, so each serve is 4 pills, which is 2,000 micrograms, and my doctor was recommending I take 4. I did a little bit of research online to kind of see more along the lines of, now that I'm not needing to take the metformin for my PCOS, is that going to be helpful or not? And it is recommended, and quite often it's one of those things, not at that dose, but it is in some of the other like fertility supplements and that kind of stuff. So I'm taking 4 of those now, and then 4 again tonight, and then tonight I will also go back to, for the month, taking the melatonin quick release. So right now that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 now and 5 tonight. So I'm back up to my math. So that's 13 pills. Wow, that took a second. So back to 13 pills a day. Good morning. I'm just getting ready to do some devotions in my, well, organized office. There's still a couple little bits and pieces to do, but really happy with the way it turned out. I'm checking out my new favorite view out the window of the giant tree that is going to get cut back so it's not over my power lines, but I do love my view. And So happy with how things have turned out. I did acupuncture yesterday, and it felt like a good fit. I think I've explained before. I think in my first and second round I did acupuncture, and I actually went to see this. It was a husband and wife team, and I couldn't get into the wife. She had some specializing with fertility. He kind of upfront said he doesn't really believe in it specifically for fertility, even though there's actually lots of data to prove with other Western treatments that acupuncture can help the outcomes of the westernized treatments. And so right from the get-go, it just didn't feel good. I felt always like kind of a bit anxious and stressed there, and so that in itself was not a good fit. So I stopped doing that, but I found this place much more local to our new location. Really like it. Yeah, and so that went well yesterday. I'll go weekly until we work out when my cycle starts and kind of what to do going from there. A lot of the supplements they recommend taking is very similar to what I'm taking. So there's one or two other little things, like someone also told me about maca root before. And so they shared it as a tea. So I've been looking out for that. They actually have the maca powder supposedly just at Woolies, which is the grocery store. But the shelves are so bare right now because of COVID, and something happened with the railway line from the East Coast. So getting product here has been really difficult. Anyway, so hopefully I can find some of that and start taking that. Yeah, but the melatonin that they recommend I take, I've already been taking. But man, I feel like so groggy when I wake up, and I'd really tried to wean myself off it because I did not need the melatonin for sleep. It was just for, yeah, the fertility stuff. Chloe just checking out the new office. Anyway, so it is my niece's first birthday today. I'm very excited. One, just to see them, but also I organized her present, which is like a water tray that I've set up, but it kind of something I did at daycare with the kids all the time was have it as a sensory table, and because she's just like standing up and taking a couple of steps on her own now, it's like the perfect height for her. It's actually something that will last a couple of years and kind of grow with her. It's like an outside thing, so they don't have to store it in their house. And yeah, so I've got dyed spaghetti and blueberries in ice, and did some green jello and some other fun, totally safe to eat sensory stuff to set up her new water play table as like a sea theme. So I'm really excited about it. I hope she and her little friends enjoy it at the party today. And yeah, that's what being an auntie is all about, right? Getting to spoil your niece. Anyway, so looking forward to that. I'll show you the setup when I get it all done, and I'll check in later. Take two, try that again. Okay, so this is like the third or fourth or fifth time I've tried picking up the camera today, and finally just getting a chance to check in and let you know what's been going on. Today was a bit crazy. I'm kind of exhausted, but lots and nothing happened. Alright, go back a second. Next Monday, Chad was supposed to be home while the tree lopping was happening at our house to watch Chloe. And then I had a client appointment while I'm in transitioning from Thursdays to Mondays at the new clinic, or not the new clinic, new day at the clinic. But for this 2-week transition while I'm starting school, and that's not quite ready for Mondays, next Monday we're going to go into the other location, Balcatta. But then Chad got told he's going away next Monday, so then now I have to be at home for Chloe while the tree's being cut down because I can't take her with me. And so then it kind of worked out for my client that I saw her today instead of next, because situations happen with her that it's probably better that I met with her sooner rather than later, and I'll do a follow-up phone appointment next week. So, okay, so I had a client, which meant Chad had to take Chloe with him to work today because she needed to see the vet to reassess her medication because she started barking in the evenings, and our neighbours have let us know. We had this organised for probably just over a week, and last night we got a message from them, a text message letting us know that she'd been barking for ages. Got back with them, kind of worked out how long is ages, and we'd checked in kind of in between the time that they said that she was barking, and we didn't hear her, but definitely heard her when we got the message later on. But she stopped about 20 minutes before we got home. So she is barking, but she is also settling down herself. So we came armed with that information. But rather than Chad or I having to come back home to Kalamunda when both of us are completely opposite directions, he took her to work so that he could then drive to an extra location with her for her vet appointment, and then I could just meet them there, and we both were going to come home afterwards. The vet was great. We upped her medication because she was really low on it, not in how much we had left over, but the amount that was prescribed to her. It was a really lower dose because we were trying to wean her off because she'd been doing really well. Well, since moving, she's kind of gone back a bit, so we're having to up the medication. We're going to be re-monitoring her and maybe getting a second camera to see what's going on outside the house, so that if she's barking, we can monitor what it is that's potentially triggering to better work out the best treatment for her long term. We talked about she kind of has yeasty paws, or like a yeast infection in her paws, like pretty much constantly. They reckon it might be an allergy, so we're having to buy all this food to make her own food again, to try and work out a bit of an elimination diet for her for the next couple of months. So that's what I was going to do after her appointment. So Chad was going to take her home. I'll go get all the grocery stuff for her to make her food and pick up her new medication. 3 stores later, and still only have half the ingredients to make her homemade food with the stuff that they're suggesting, because everywhere is out of almost everything. Okay, so yes, been to 3 different places trying to find stuff for her. We'll just make do, and at least we have some basics for her to get started. Then had to go to the pharmacy, picked up the meds for her to do that. She got them. Her vet appointment was $150. Her meds were $110. Groceries were about $100. I love this dog, I do, but oh my goodness, she can be expensive and hard work. And that hasn't even included where I've just pulled up home. I'm sitting in the driveway because otherwise this clip might not happen. I still have to get prepped for school tomorrow, which I have to go straight from our IVF check-in appointment and get all our papers signed. So I'm going to miss half of my first lecture back at uni. But that is kind of what it is, and I can always rewatch it. And luckily the first week's usually just about like this is what to expect. And we're going to go through the handbook, which I am trying to read ahead of time. So yeah, so tomorrow we go in for our doctor's appointment. We have to come up with the $1,280 and sign all the paperwork for another retrieval, as long as the doctor's happy with another retrieval. And then Chad will probably go home and I'll go on to school. I'm back in our Holden car. Chad has the new car because this car I've decided is going to be my school car because it is better on long distance fuel consumption. Diesel, which is kind of cheaper where we get gas at Costco. And that way, if this car gets pranged by a P-plater reversing into it or just gets dinged in the car park or whatever, I don't really care, or I don't really want to run the risk with the newer car. Anyway, so this car will be going to school with me. And then hopefully I'll get to see some of my friends. But they were meeting up before class, not after class. So I'll kind of miss some of them. And then Wednesdays are a big day where it's my 2 classes day and I have worship rehearsal in the evening. Class again on Thursday. Friday we have our nurses check-in. And with that's to go over the new meds protocol if there is any changes. Answer any questions about this next retrieval, as long as that's all going ahead, but it's booked in so that all of the visits and everything is done in February before bulk billing finishes for IVF, so that when my cycle starts next month, I can go ahead with the starting of, I guess, technically around 7, at least for the retrieval side of things, of IVF. And then I've got acupuncture later that day, and then I'll be setting up my friend's baby shower and doing any baking and getting ready, and then Saturday's the baby shower, so I'll be over there prepping for all of that all in the morning. Busy. I knew this week was going to be like this though. So I felt a little bit anxious this morning, just with all of the things and the timing. But actually, I'm not doing too bad. I think once I get home, I eat. I haven't eaten today. It is now 6 o'clock and I realized that I haven't eaten today. So I'm hungry, which means I think I'm also a bit meh. So I'm going to go inside, unpack the groceries, eat straight away, maybe watch one episode of something and woo some. And then before I go to bed, I'm going to get all my school material, my bag, everything ready to go for tomorrow, so I feel calmer about going into school and knowing what to expect after having to come in halfway through because of our appointment. Lots going on, but it's all good. All right, guys, I love you. I will let you know how the appointment goes tomorrow and where we're officially going. At this stage, it's all kind of, we're just guessing. So tomorrow, check in.